If you're looking for a cheap, easy, and pretty healthy meatless taco recipe, you gotta try these lentil tacos that my wife Lauren makes. She got the original idea from an old friend of ours.
Her name is Kayla Wood. It was good because when I played Derby and there were like a bunch of vegetarians, it was a good recipe to take to potlucks.
First thing to do is get a cup of lentils going. Any kind, I love them all, but these are green lentils.
Give it sort of a cursory look to see if there's any rocks in there. I don't think there's any rocks in there ever.
Lauren gives them a rinse in a sieve. That's probably not necessary if you cook them the way that she does, which you could maybe call pasta style. Rather than putting them in with the precise amount of water you think they'll absorb, you just boil them in a big pot of water until tender, and then you drain them off. You could salt the water like you would for pasta, but with something as small as a lentil, I doubt it makes a perceivable difference whether the interior has been seasoned via absorption. They're going to be coated in a seasoned sauce. Now she's going to make the condiment for these tacos, which is going to be crema, Latin American fermented cream. It's like crème fraîche. If you can't get either of those, you can fake it really convincingly with American-style sour cream. She's going to squeeze half a lime into maybe a quarter cup of sour cream. Lime is traditional with crema. And then to get the texture right, you got to loosen up that sour cream with a little bit of water. Mix it all up.
But you want it to kind of be runny.
You know, it's a sauce, not a spread. A little bit of salt, then give it a taste. You probably want it really acidic. It's almost the only acid in the whole taco. You can see the lentils are boiling. Green lentils generally take about 15 minutes once they get going like that, during which time you can chop up your vegetables. Lauren always looks for a smaller onion for these.
My knife skills are not great.
Hey, neither are mine.
Well, mine are worse.
Nice! Self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, when all you have to do is cut up one onion for your own dinner, nobody really needs knife skills. Just go slow so you won't cut yourself, and then get the thing into little pieces however you can. Then a red bell pepper. Again, Lauren looks for a small one at the store. Cut it in half.
It's like a guy yelling. Ah!
Sure it is.
Whatever.
You can scoop the seeds and the stems straight out into the trash, then cut the halves into strips. It's certainly easier if you cut into the flesh side. The skin side is tough and slick, so there's a chance the knife could slip off. I suppose that's technically a knife skill. Don't tell anyone. Then you can just cut the strips into a dice as big or small as you want.
The chopping is the only part of this recipe that takes time. Everything else is fine.
A little olive oil into a nice big pan on medium heat.
I believe you call it a glug.
As the French say.
Like glug.
Then in go the onions.
I do the onions first because I like them to be pretty soft.
That's why she gives them like a 2-minute head start. Then in go the peppers, and she's just going to cook all those until they're almost as soft as she would want to eat them. At least 5 more minutes. Speaking of soft, she'll fish out a lentil and bite into it to see if it's cooked.
That's good.
I definitely like them still al dente, like pasta, which is how Lauren cooks them. Drain them off, and then you can just kind of stash them back in the pot for a sec. In the summer, we'd shave the kernels off a fresh ear of corn, but right now we're using a little 11-ounce can of corn. Drain it off and dump those in with the veggies. They really don't need any cooking at all. Nor does this 4-ounce can of diced green chilies. Hot or mild, whichever you want. Those are usually canned with citric acid or vinegar, so that's going to be your other acid in this recipe. In go the drained lentils, and then yes, you've seen it lying there, a 1¼ ounce packet of taco seasoning.
You can make your own, but why?
In addition to having all the generically Latin American spices that you might want, this stuff also generally has some starch in it, which is kind of key.
Probably because of the cornstarch, it gets a little more saucy.
Yeah, without it, this mixture doesn't bind together very well.
And sometimes you have to add a little bit of water.
That's something you can eyeball. This seemed wet enough as it was. Didn't need any more salt. The taco seasoning has salt in it.
That's voila, that's it.
Now for the tortillas, we do flour. You could obviously do corn.
I just do them on foil because it's easier to pull them out of the hot oven.
There's many ways to heat tortillas, all controversial to someone. I like to steam them. Lauren does them under the broiler, which is good and very efficient because you can do them all at once and the broiler heats up so fast. Just literally a minute under there.
Bam!
Taco on the plate, lentils on the taco, then drizzle on that ersatz crema. So good, and you could totally use vegan sour cream for that, by the way. They make it with soy or coconut cream, I think. Man, those are tasty, and there's enough for like 8 tacos in there. It reheats perfectly. That's dinner for 2 or 3 nights for us. One of our old standbys. You gotta try it.
You want me to hold it up? This is gonna look very Betty Crocker.